राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Radhe. Jaya Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Shila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Shila Guru Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Shila Gurudeva. Shri Radha Madhav Bhagwan ki Jai Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Warm welcome everyone in the study of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we continue our study. Again specific, studying Canto 4 and chapter 12. Dhruva Maharaj goes back to Godhead. So Dhruva Maharaj's character, the pastime. Now see, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, what? Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters, 700 shlokas. Bhagavatam, 12 cantos, 335 chapters, 18,000 shlokas. Chaitanya Charitamrita, 3 volumes, Adi, Madhya, Anta. Now all this Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 12, will be seen by the way from text 39 today. All of this for us, we need this. In the sense, we need this gradation or this division or this sort of division. See, when Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, did he say, okay, this is chapter 1 done, chapter 2, or when Arjuna was asking questions or having, Krishna and Arjuna were having this dialogue, was Krishna telling Arjuna that, no, I explained this to you in chapter 3 already. And didn't you check that? Or actually I said this, what I said in chapter 4, I'm telling you now, okay, now I'm going to start with you another chapter, and this is the name of the chapter, and this is the first text in the chapter. And okay, now we close this chapter here, we go on to another chapter now. It was a pure dialogue, no? It was a pure dialogue Krishna and Arjuna were having with each other, a live conversation face to face. Bhagavatam was also a live conversation actually. And these pastimes in Bhagavatam, they are happening since eternity and for eternity. See, if one can capture this thing now, we have been in this material world since eternity. Nitya Bhag, not since eternity. But we have every moment, every day, every month, every year, every lifetime, and every moment, we have an opportunity to be eternally liberated for eternity. For eternity. And this human form of life is given for that. How do we scale ourselves up so that we can attain ultimate liberation, real liberation or liberation? Liberation. And what does liberation mean? Liberation is coming out of one's material existence for sure, rather that's the side effect of itself. Real liberation is to be situated in one's identity, to be situated in one's position, in one's constitutional position, which is to be a loving servant of Krishna, which is to be in love with Krishna, which is to be lovingly service Krishna. See, even in this life, even if in this life, in this very body, if we are practicing devotional service, if we manage to do it lovingly, throughout the day, then we are liberated. It's as good as liberation. If whatever we do it out of love for Krishna, for the pleasure of Guru and Guru. As we work on, then we are already liberated. Because our focus will change altogether. Our thought process, our focus, everything will change. Many things will come in our life. Some of us students, some of us working people, some of us family responsibilities and all. But we all should be preparing ourselves towards what? Old age. Actually, old age, one great benefit of old age is what? Old age gives a license for one to come out of some societal protocols, or also to come out of much societal obligations, and especially much entanglement. For an elderly person, what entanglement? And one way, elderly person is a bit restricted by his senses, but still, as sadhaka, we will grow old in this body. Perhaps the body may die even before that. But suppose we one day we attain what 50-year-old, 60-year-old, huh? What consciousness would we want to see ourselves? Dhruva Maharaj, see, he ruled for 36,000 years, had family, children, ruled for 36,000 years, and now he trained his sons and other members, and he appointed ministers and all, and checked into the kingdom altogether, and now he proceeded towards the forest. He proceeded towards where? Badrikashram mentions. Badrikashram, and he's doing sadhana there furthermore. It's not when he was performing his royal duties, kingly duties as a married man, and family duties, he was not doing austerities or chanting or meditation, he was still doing. But now he wants to do it for the wholesome, one pointed, full on set. And in forest, he's doing that, and living in isolation, a bit of seclusion, and living in a surrounding which is very goodness, more of goodness, peaceful, surrounded by hermitages and along with other sages. So that is human life meant to navigate ourselves. How do we prepare our childhood life? How do we prepare our youth life, adulthood life? Uh, this a bit of life of stability and towards moving towards old age. How do we prepare ourselves? So coming again, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke, but Krishna didn't say these chapters and then sort of things. Bhagavatam also Vyasdev Ji Ved Vyas wrote it to us, but he didn't like okay. And it's not in a chronological order, Bhagavatam, that okay, first canto, second canto, third canto, this pastime, after that pastime. No, it's not in a chronological order. So all of this is required for us. These cantos, chapters, texts, and all is required definitely for us, for our mind to get something, picture to our mind to capture something, grasp something. It needs a structure. A structure is needed. Otherwise, our minds cannot take it. It's not like again Krishna didn't say Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna in an unstructured manner, or even Bhagavatam is not in an unstructured manner. But structure meaning something wherein okay, first canto, second chapter, this, then our mind can grasp more nicely. And when we tune ourselves in the study of Srimad Bhagavatam, ultimately how a mood has to be developed. Loving sentiment has to be developed. Yeah. Beautiful flowers from the garden. Huh? These roses, oh, smells so amazing. So, in Krishna consciousness, there is ample room for loving emotions, loving sentiments, but little, very little, hardly any room for being sentimental. Sentiments are very good to carry, but we shouldn't be sentimental. We see now Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, if we see, if one knows the context of Bhagavad Gita, one will find more and more charm. If one knows the context, little bit context of Mahabharata, one can find more charm. But nonetheless, one need not study Mahabharata, not as such required. And just if little bit of context is known, one will find more charm. So we can see Arjuna was initially a bit acting sentimental. And Krishna didn't kill Arjuna's this sentimental thinking and all. Rather, he composed him. He made Arjuna stand in one unit so much so that he gave him such sentiments, fighting sentiments, loving fighting sentiments. Arjuna fought with love. He fought with love. As we studied now, Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita with his heart, from his heart. Whatever Krishna does, he does it out of his own sweet will, with his heart. There's no separation. Yeah. Krishna does everything from his heart only. Nothing he does like, okay, out of duty bound or out of any grudge or something imposed and he has to do it. No. Arjuna also, finally, maybe we can say, finally, he received the message of Bhagavad Gita in his heart, or within his heart, or through his heart, or out of his heart. And he acted also out of his heart. Now, this pastime, Dhruva Maharaj, na, initially we may also say maybe was Dhruva Maharaj sentimental, perhaps not, maybe, we don't see it. But for ourselves, in our lives, na, someone says something to us, we get a bit sentimental many times, na, and we lose those sentiments. We get sentimental, we lose those sentiments, and many times we are so lazy or laid back that even if we know what is the right thing to do, it takes us tremendous level of energy, inspiration to come to that platform and act. At a moral level, we still understand that what is good and what is better, that what I am doing and what I should be doing. Even at a sadhaka level, look, na, we understand practicing Krishna consciousness at a sadhaka level, where I am and where should I be. Where I am in my consciousness and where should I be. How do we bridge that gap? Through japa? Yes, japa helps. Through study of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam? Yes, definitely. Through Kirtan? Yes. Through Prasadam Seva? Yes. Through visiting temples and all everything? Yes. Through book distribution? Yes. But still that gap won't be fully filled. Still won't be fully filled. Until and unless one takes the shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Until and unless. And this ultimate instruction, kind of, Dhruva Maharaj was led in that direction to leave home and go for austerities. And he had sincerity, and Narad Muni came in picture, and he got himself initiated with conviction. So this gap now, where I am and where I should be, this gap will be, if at all, this gap will be thoroughly bridged, thoroughly, when one takes shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. And it doesn't end there. No. Then shelter is the beginning, and then when one develops pure loving sentiments, pure loving attachment, hmm, towards that personality, then that gap gets bridged altogether. And then would come a day, a moment, a zone, a period in our life when we think of nothing but Krishna, when we think of nothing but Guru Maharaj, when we think of nothing but the pleasure of Guru and Gaurang. And Dhruva Maharaj experienced that in his meditation. We saw na, if someone has to do meditation, this is how gradually excelling in meditation. And this is how now going towards the fruit of the ultimate fruit of the meditation. So we saw yesterday what Dhruva Maharaj, he was in forest meditating in his ashram, chanting, doing his daily prayer ceremonies, absorbing himself, and he sees what? Two spiritual beings from the spiritual planet come. Nanda and Sunanda come, na? Their name is also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Who came, huh? And these personalities came in an transcendental airplane to take Dhruva Maharaj, to the spiritual realm, to the spiritual sky, to the spiritual planet. And Dhruva Maharaj at first wasn't sure how to receive them. Nanda and Sunanda. Dhruva Maharaj at first wasn't very sure how to receive them, and this is natural sentiment. Sometimes we get confused what to do, what not to do. Huh? But our level of confusion is slightly different. We get confused because of our lack of intelligence, because of our cultural lack of understanding, philosophical lack of understanding, and furthermore, although there may be sincerity in us, sure, But Dhruva Maharaj's confusion was not because of that. His confusion was more of a feeling of love, seeing spiritual personalities. Huh? See now, the day when we attain Krishna, huh? Krishna is who? Lord, na? Lord meaning love of our life. Say. So when we attain the love of our life, the darshan, the seva, the embrace of Krishna, we will also be feeling a bit like confused what to do, what not to do. Sort of. This is the riti, this is the culture of love. It brings a sense of confusion, it brings a sense of dilemma, it brings a sense of anxiety, definitely, as she said, you know. So Dhruva Maharaj wasn't sure, but then he chanted, and as we understand now, when in doubt, chant Hare Krishna. When in emergency, chant Hare Krishna. When in emergency, we should be chanting Hare Krishna, and when in a non-emergency situation, we should definitely be chanting Hare Krishna. Definitely. In an emergency situation, we might force ourselves easily to chant Hare Krishna. It might come a bit naturally also in a tight emergency situation. But in a non-emergency situation in a regular day, it is very easy to not chant. Like we say this thing, do we live in remembrance or forgetfulness? Leave Krishna consciousness. That's too lofty. Honestly, it's too lofty. In our day-to-day life, do we live in remembrance or forgetfulness? Forgetfulness. Nowadays, you see work meetings record, anything record, any meetings in general and all record, note it down, record. I wonder how people used to work 5, 10 years ago, 20 years ago without recording. How? It's not that rich people or kings were not there, no? Or governments not used to work. So much now we think, okay, have you got it recorded or have you got it filmed? All those things. Do we live in remembrance or forgetfulness in general? Very much forgetfulness. This is why we need to write, okay, shopping list, what do I need to do, day list, 2 day list, and all these things. And you know, at this in this current conditional state, what is very natural for us to forget Krishna. Tremendously natural. It is so natural for us, a conditioned soul, practicing sadhaka. So natural, well, those who are not yet found the resolving Krishna consciousness, anyways, are in forgetfulness of Krishna. Us practicing Krishna conscious practitioners, even while chanting, we are forgetting Krishna. What to speak then? Look, we say na that okay, the world listen to me, someone give importance to me. Why does not someone listen to me? Krishna says what? First you listen to yourself. While you are doing japa, you are not listening to yourself. You know, a bit fair to say that I'm a mad person. I'm doing japa, I'm chanting something, and I'm not myself listening to what I'm chanting. And I expect the whole world to listen to me, or I expect someone else to listen to me. I expect Krishna to listen to me. So Krishna says, okay, when you do japa, listen yourself. Listen to yourself. When you listen to yourself, I will listen to you. And when I listen to you, the whole world listens to you. This is what we experienced to Maharaj. He chanted, meditated. Meditation is what? An inquiry. He got to know from Narad Muni that the Lord resides in you. Fascinating. So fascinating. Look, we live in a different age. Today, if we get to know that the Prime Minister or President is coming in our town, or such free event, such thing is coming, we'll be so fascinated. We would want to check out more. Dhruva Maharaj, he got to know that the Lord resides in you from Narad Muni. He got very fascinated, intrigued. Let me check this out. That is meditation, to search for the lotus feet of the Lord within. That is japa. Japa is a call. Japa is a cry. call, chant, cry. That is japa. So Dhruva Maharaj in his japa, as he was chanting, he was listening to himself, he was paying attention to himself. And then Krishna paid attention to him. And then the whole world, like in the sense, for him, the world being his father, King Uttampa, mother, stepmother, brothers, others, everyone. So now these two personalities, Nanda Sunanda, came to receive Dhruva Maharaj, take him to the spiritual kingdom. And Dhruva Maharaj received them. Very soon he composed himself and he received them as a transcendental personality should be received. And then what do we see? That the airplane was there, and Dhruva Maharaj, he then took shower, took bath. He sanctified himself, he sanctified the ashram, where he was living. And look, now we discussed now philosophy, culture, and etiquette. Look, philosophy we saw. Philosophy we saw in chapter 8, 9, we saw the philosophy bit. Okay. It's not that we are not seeing philosophy here. We saw philosophy, we saw culture etiquette also in there. That the king was apparently not in a proper culture or maintaining the proper etiquette. Philosophy. And here also what we'll see philosophy, culture, and etiquette. But of these three things, philosophy, culture, and etiquette, everyone follows it again. Theist or atheist, everyone follows. And the foundation of culture and etiquette is what? Philosophy. That is the foundation. It has to be the foundation. The foundation of our life has to be Krishna conscious foundation, means good Krishna conscious philosophical understanding. Even if one does not avoid shastrically, one cannot, it is fine if one cannot quote shlokas from here, there, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, this and that, and philosophize much, but a good heart is definitely needed. A good, gentle, sincere heart, so much so that we follow the lead of someone. We take guidance and shelter of someone. Huh? It's not like one has to be taking this pressure, oh, I don't know shlokas, I don't know Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. I've read it, but I don't know what is where and all. And I cannot preach, I cannot give classes, I cannot philosophize, I cannot go and distribute books and all. Means no hope, no. Thing is having faith and building this loving sentiment and emotions towards a devotee. Huh? Taking shelter of a devotee. That is actually the essence of all the philosophy. Na? It's not like by, okay, this can be a question, right? That what will make Krishna attain us? Good philosophical understanding, by us demonstrating a very good philosophical understanding will Krishna attain us, or by demonstrating a very good cultural grounding of Bhagavad cultural grounding will Krishna attain us? Will Krishna be interested in us? Or by maintaining a very good Bhagavad Krishna conscious etiquette will Krishna attain us?
Like the sound of the last
Krishna conscious etiquette. Okay, we can check. Overall, we need philosophy, culture, and etiquette throughout. But one beautiful, Krishna says, Nayam Atma Pravachinena Labhyo. Na Medasa na Bahuna Shrutena. Beautiful, Krishna says. And see, in such a sweet way, he's demonstrating Krishna is absolute truth, absolute reality. Absolute meaning one without the other. No comparison. None like him, none equal to him, or none higher than him. Asam Mordva. No one equal to him, no one higher than him. So, Nayam Atma Pravachinena Labhyo. This we see in in Srimad Bhagavatam 10, 13, 54, I believe in the purport Prabhupada quotes this shloka. And it comes in one of the Upanishads. I'm not able to recollect now which Upanishad said. But Nayam Atma Pravachanina Labhyo. Krishna said, no one can. This is kind of a bit of a, forgive me, a bit of a loose translation, but I don't think so. Message wise, we should still be getting the message. Huh? So Krishna says, Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhyo, that no soul can attain me by good pravachan. Pravachan. Pravachan means eloquent speaking, by philosophizing very nicely, hmm, by quoting shastras from here, there, and all, by a good orator, a good speaker. Nayam Atma Pravachana Labhyo, Na Medasa na Bahuna Shrutena, Na Medasa, by showing good intelligence or memory, by showing very good intelligence or such an intelligent person, such a good self-controlled person, such a memory or such a good culture say. Na Medasa na Bahuna Shrutena, neither by lots of learning, lots of meditation, lots of learning, lots of hearing say. Nayam Atma Pravachan Labhya Na Medasana Bahuna Sukrena. Yam eva se vrinute tena labhyas. That who can attain me how? Yam eva se vrinute tena labhyas. Something Krishna says that he only can attain me whom I want to attain. Only that. Doesn't matter this if someone is very learned, scholarly, whatever. Whomsoever Krishna desire to have, only that personality can attain Krishna. Now, this whole of practice of Krishna consciousness is to come up with this desire, to build this desire. So, Dhruva Maharaj, now we see the philosophy culture at Vigagna, how he received these two personalities, and then the airplane was there. He sanctified his ashram, he purified himself and all, did his puja, everything. And look now, the culture or etiquette sort of thing, grounded by philosophy. What? Dhruva Maharaj, he did what? He went to the neighboring ashrams, to the other sadhus, saints, sages, and he went there what? Not to tell them bye, no, not to tell this to them that bye or I've made it, I'm going. No, no. He went there to seek their blessings, to seek their blessings and to ask for forgiveness. At the time of our life now, at the time of passing of our life, if we can be slightly conscious and if we can be asking for forgiveness, if we can. Look at Prabhupada ji. Prabhupada teaches us from his own life, now, what? That he was asking for forgiveness in his last days, months, as built up, as his physical health was further and further deteriorating. He was asking for forgiveness in the temple when he was residing in Vrindavan. Look, Prabhupada didn't, as his health was deteriorating, he told that no, I won't travel further America, no more Europe. I think London was the last visit he did outside of India. And then he said, okay, now Bhaktivedanta Manor, I believe. And from there he said, okay, take me to Vrindavan. No other place also in India. He knew that, okay, physically I will leave soon. And he was sort of say independent, but he wasn't like, okay, no, I will open up centers, I will go there. He did 100 temples over 12 years, trained his disciples and everything, and passed on the baton, okay, continue the parampara sort of. So Prabhupada ji he went to Vrindavan, and what was he doing? For continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam translation, dictating Srimad Bhagavatam, and what his daily things, one of the things he was doing daily was asking for forgiveness. Of course, he was taking reports from his disciples, how his preaching going, and other things, and some managerial things, and helping furthermore and all. But he was continuously asking for forgiveness. At that time, I think he told or asked Bon Maharaj and other some of his god brothers and devotees from other Gaudiya Vaishnava nuts and all. Point being, asking for forgiveness. Dhruva Maharaj also, we saw yesterday, he went to other ashrams to meet other sages, to seek their blessings, to take their blessings, to ask for their blessings, and also what? To ask for forgiveness. To ask for forgiveness. So for us as well, when we leave our body, when we pass on, when we move on, say, we should be mindful if we can ask for forgiveness. Um, and this, who benefits most from forgiveness? The person who is asking for forgiveness himself. The other person may or may not benefit. That is another thing altogether. Who benefits most from preaching? The preacher. The preacher himself, to begin with. Others may or may not benefit, others may benefit. It is a bonus or it is the mercy of Krishna. It is the kindness of Krishna. But the preacher, he should benefit. What will make the preacher benefit from preaching? Someone who is preaching, how can he benefit from preaching? If he is listening. So this is actually the fact. Who is our audience? Who is our audience? Who is my audience? I myself am the audience. भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताई सुदृढ़ विश्वास कोरी भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताई सुदृढ़ विश्वास कोरी विषय छाड़िया सिर से मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि विषय छाड़िया सिर से मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि भजो भजो भाई Chaitanya Nitai, Bhajo Bhajo, call out the names of Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Nitai, call out the names of Gaura Nitai, Sundar Nitai, call out the names of Chaitanya Nitai. Sudrida Vishwas Korim, having firm faith in the holy name, in the holy personalities of Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Nitai Prabhu. Sudrida Vishaya Chadiya Sera Se Majiya, Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari. Giving up sense enjoyment, material sense enjoyment, and engaging in loving pastimes. Call out Hari Hari. So in this Bhajo Bhajo Bhai, oh brother, Bhai, whom are being addressed? To mind, to oneself only. So it is okay, it may seem like we are calling others, okay, chant, chant. When we go out in Harinam, who is benefiting the most? Actually, we should be benefiting. First, who becomes compassionate going out on Harinam? Harinam, every practicing Krishna conscious devotee should go out on Harinam. Such unfortunate it will be if one is practicing Krishna consciousness but never been to a Harinam. Mahaprabhu's mission, Harinam Sankirtan Yajna, one should go for Harinam, go for book distribution. When we go out for Harinam, we should experience the compassion ourselves and we should experience the grace. We have been blessed by Vaishnavas that we are able to go out for Harinam. And now, this Seva to the Vaishnavas and Jive Daya, showing that compassion upon other living entities. So this Bhajo Bhajo Bhai, this mind is to oneself. Preaching is always to oneself. Prabhupada never preached to himself. He was a transcendental personality. He did not need any preaching. Spiritual masters, present acharyas, present guru work, They are transcendental personalities. They are not preaching to themselves, they are helping us conditioned soul. And any other devotee who gives class in temple or any other setting, who gives class, when we are receiving class, our mood should be okay, yes. uh, He's a transcendental personality helping me become Krishna conscious. And whenever we speak personally, I pray that I become the first listener of Srimad Bhagavatam, the message of Krishna consciousness. I pray that I ever remain a student of Krishna consciousness. I pray that I attain some humility in the practice of Krishna consciousness. So, this preaching is always to one side. Forgiveness. Who benefits most? The soul proper. For we only benefit by seeking forgiveness. Also, there is a way also of asking for forgiveness. It's not like in my heart I ask for forgiveness. It may happen that in living in devotee relationship, and we may have some disagreement, and I go off tangent, off Krishna conscious tangent. So I should be asking for forgiveness, but I should have that much of stamina that I go in person. Wherever possible, forgiveness should be asked in person, or one should make it possible, if possible, to ask for forgiveness in person, and also in a manner we genuinely mean it. We feel the wrong committed. And we should not philosophize in asking forgiveness. We should not philosophize in the sense, oh Prabhu, I was under so much maya that did this. It was just my bad karma and my conditioning that made me do this, or something that I did not sleep well, and all of this something that's more. Forgiveness should be a bit open from the heart, unreserved. Why cannot every apology become an unreserved apology now? Even if we did something wrong, still we should apologize. Uh, we should not try to philosophize. That then mars the humility. Wherever possible, we should ask for forgiveness in person. How? Holding the lotus feet of the devotee, sitting down at his lotus feet, and seeking forgiveness and asking for blessing, for purification, for correction. And then we see our heart, how soft it will become, how change we will experience in our consciousness, elevation we will experience in our consciousness. Uh, this that we want, we genuinely mean to patch up the relationships. It is not in words, Mahaprabhu says, na Trinadapi Suniche na Tarodapi Saishna. Amanina Mandina Kirtanya Sadhari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false speech, and should be ready to offer all respects unto others. So all the instructions given here, they are not just like theory or for what's sake. We should be meditating on it and trying to come to this. And this will happen. See, us becoming Krishna consciousness, at one point it will be a natural progression, it has to be. When we are taking good inspiring association, and we are glorifying, valuing, loving our association. So Dhruva Maharaj, he went to the next in the vicinity, all the Vaishnavas, and he paid his obeisances to them. And he asked for forgiveness, he asked for their blessings. And look, he's asking for his mother. So it's not like becoming a devotee, then we become cold. We don't care for our parents or brothers, sisters, or friends and well wishers. He's asking for his mother. And asking what? That where is my mother? What is her situation? What is happening? offering, no, I cannot leave until my mother goes. So here we see na, that mm, so first, before getting aboard, Dhruva Maharaj worshipped the airplane, circumambulated it, and also offered obeisances to the associates of Vishnu. Yeah. So that, and before that, yes, when he heard the sweet speeches of the Lord's chief associates in the Vaikuntha planet, he immediately took his sacred bath, dressed himself with suitable ornaments, and performed his daily spiritual duties. Thereafter, he offered his respectful obeisances to the great sages present there and accepted their blessings. Such a culture, such a culture. And then we see what as Dhruva Maharaj was attempting to get on the transcendental plane, he saw death personified approaching and said, kindly, sir, leave this body here, leave this garment here. And Dhruva Maharaj, okay, he put his feet on the head of death and thus he got up on the airplane. Now look, Dhruva Maharaj, such a transcendental personality. Na? When he was 5 year old, we can check Canto 4, text chapter 8, text 78, I believe. When he text 78, chapter 8. When he was 5 year old, doing austerities where in Madhuban. Hmm. Still present in Vrindavana. When he was doing austerities there, and through his austerities, what did he do? He stopped the airflow complete of the three universes. So much so, the demigods, Lord Brahma, and higher demigods in the higher planetary systems, they all started suffocating. Is it text 478? What is the translation?
This translation is the three worlds began to tremble.
Yes. Yes. See. So everyone kindly in the screen or where it comes, see this text 78 translation. Huh? When Dhruva Maharaj, this is chapter 8, right?
4, 8, 17.
4, 8, 78. No? When Dhruva Maharaj thus captured the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the refuge of the total material creation and is the master of all living entities, the three worlds began to tremble. The three worlds began to tremble, shook up all together. Then next says, na, as Dhruva Maharaj, the king's son, kept himself steadily standing on one leg, the pressure of his big toe pushed down the earth. The pressure of his big toe pushed down the earth. That is spiritual energy. Just as an elephant being carried on a boat rocks the boat left and right with his every step. So this, when it says, now when Dhruva Maharaj became practically one in heaviness with Lord Vishnu, the total consciousness, due to his fully concentrating and closing all the holes of his body, the total universal breathing became choked up. And all the great demigods in all the planetary systems felt suffocated and thus took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, this is how he excelled his meditation. This is how our japa should be. Huh? When we go first round, second round, third round, and all, we have to come to a zone wherein we are really, it's just us and the holy name, us and the holy name, no confusion, no chattering, no, nothing in between us and the holy name. And the day we chant with attention, we would want to bang our heads on the wall. The day we chant very attentively, very focused, very strongly with atmiyata, with nearness, with love, when there is no separation between us and the japa, we would want to bang our head on the wall for sure. Why? The soul would want to come out of this material cage altogether and hankering for the darshan of Krishna. The soul proper cannot live in this body once we become spiritually surcharged. No. And Krishna's energy won't let us also live in this body. The transition has to be natural. It will be natural when we develop that desire to attain Krishna. So something on these lines. See, Dhruva Maharaj then asked of his mother. Uh, yeah. As he was about to start, when he remembered his poor mother Suniti, he thought to himself, how shall I go alone to the Vaikuntha planet and leave my poor mother behind? Then the great associates of Vaikuntha, Nanda and Sunanda, could understand the mind of Dhruva Maharaj, and thus they showed him that his mother Suniti was going forward in another plane. She was already taken care of in another plane. So it is not like that practicing Krishna consciousness one becomes cold. No. But in our initial stages, we must protect ourselves. We must take good association. Doesn't mean that in later stages we don't take good association. Pointing throughout we take good association and we refrain ourselves from asatsang, means mundane material association of friends, family and all. Because until and unless we go in isolation or we go in Krishna conscious association, we won't be healing ourselves, we won't be consolidating ourselves. We see now, like in surgery and all societal workings now, that okay, free yourselves. So we have to free ourselves from mundane material association, be even if be family association, even if it be family association. Unless we distance ourselves or detach ourselves, we cannot really train our mind and we cannot be of help. A soldier, in order to serve the country, has to leave the family, right? He leaves the family. Someone working in police or working in hospital, they go out, no? And so, likewise, we also have to have that distance. That distance, physical distance, yes, it has to be had. We need not have that distance in the heart, but physical distance to grow ourselves. And then we should be as much as possible lovingly or duty bound engaging with the family. This depends on time, place, circumstance, and situation, person, situation, condition. But when it comes to living our body, we should never have grudge towards our family members or anyone. No, shouldn't have grudge. And we should pray for well-being of everyone. We can be at distance with our parents, friends, family members, but need not be so cold. Need not be no. This Dhruva Maharaj, na? And look, na, practicing Krishna consciousness through Dhruva Maharaj pastimes, we can see na, that he enjoyed while living in the material world and now ascending to the spiritual world also. Who is going first? Mother. Mother is going first. Na? So when we practice, many times this question comes, na, maybe a bit naturally also. Okay, if I do practice Krishna consciousness, who will look after family? What will happen to the family? Uh, what will happen to parents and further on those lines and all. Uh, when we look after Krishna, Krishna looks after not only the sadhaka, he looks after the sadhaka's family and everyone. Those who are near and dear to the sadhaka. Definitely. Well, in a mundane society, government looks after those soldiers who are serving. Doesn't government look after the family of those soldiers? Looks not. They get some special concession, discounts and things, special sort of treatment. Those working in civil services, in government hospitals and all, uh, their family members and all get some. Those working in this corporate offices, Now, uh, some lady is going in maternity leave like that, na? The husband also gets na paternity leave and things support. Now, employees working in company, the wife shares some benefits, na? Some insurance benefits, and all parents get some medical benefits and things like that. So even if such a mundane society looks not only for his employees but for employees near and dear ones, why wouldn't Krishna look after them? Krishna certainly looking after everyone does that. So, shall we start now studying Srimad Bhagavatam for? So, can we start then with Srimad Bhagavatam now? Can we start? Is it okay? Yes, so we can start now then maybe, huh? From text 39. You all get me a bit into talking slow, but maybe we can start now, huh? And text 39 onwards you can see. गम्भीरवेगो निमिषं ज्योतिषां चक्रमः आहितं यस्मिन् भ्रमति कौरव्य मेध्वां मेद्याम् इव गवां गण. Saint Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, descendant of Kuru, as a herd of bulls circumambulates a central pole on the right side, all the luminaries within the spiritual sky unceasingly circumambulate the abode of Dhruva Maharaj with great force and speed. वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपा बुद्धि तमः प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं त्वं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम् वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So warm welcome everyone in the study of Srimad Bhagavatam. We start now. It is nice to set a bit of a tone, a bit of a introduction. Na? And this is the culture again, Bhagavad culture, na? Not straight going into sloka translation. Okay, and this is it. So it's nice a bit to set. So a small introduction, short, just we set now. You can see. So 39, 40. Let us read a bit some translations and see. After observing the glories of Dhruva Maharaj, the great sage Narada playing his veena. Wow, look. Now spiritual master, he's getting crazy a bit. He's going a bit crazy. Sir. After observing he's getting ecstatic. After observing the glories of Dhruva Maharaj, the great sage Narada played his veena, went to the sacrificial arena of the Prachetas. So after Dhruva Maharaj comes the pastime of Prachetas, and very happily chanted the following three verses. Well, uh, a sadhaka should day in day out glorify his spiritual master. One who can day in day out just tell to Krishna, oh Krishna, I've been blessed with such divine transcendental devotee association. Thank you for giving me. I mean, what else do I ask from you, Krishna? Since I've had devotee association, I've attained everything in life. Now I feel so embarrassed asking for anything from you, Krishna. Now I just in this devotee association, I want to give out and give out, Krishna. So a sadhaka should be cherishing the devotee association one gets, and again this devotee association has to go quite concentrated. Association, another meaning of association means attachment. Another meaning of association has to be attachment. So this we should be so grateful that some particular one or two That is like say Siksha Guru, mentor guide, call it mentor guide and all Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru, spiritual initiating spiritual master. Tayato Vamstasya Yasastri Sandhyam Vande Gurushi Charnarvinda. So, thinking of the spiritual master, thinking of the beauty and the glory of the spiritual master, thinking of the magnanimity of the spiritual master. That so we should be glorifying that. Wow, such an association I've been blessed with. If we can have that much of faith in our association, where is the problem? Where is the I have such good association. I value my association, Krishna will value me. Then just time is a separation. If we are in good association, we are on the way to Golok Vrindavan. So, a sadhaka, we should glorify the association we have. And look, such a beauty for the sadhaka when spiritual master glorifies his disciple. Disciple naturally should always glorify his spiritual master, not just certain day or certain occasion. In mood, in heart, should be always grateful. But look, some spiritual master glorifying his disciples. So we see now what Narada Muni says. The great sage Narada said, text 41, simply by the influence of his spiritual advancement and powerful austerity, Dhruva Maharaj, the son of Suniti, who was devoted to her husband, acquired an exalted position not possible to attain even for the so-called Vedantists or strict followers of the Vedic principles, not to speak of ordinary human beings. The great sage Narada continued, just see how Dhruva Maharaj, aggrieved at the harsh words of his stepmother, went to the forest at the age of only 5 years, and under my direction underwent austerity. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unconquerable, Dhruva Maharaj defeated him with the specific qualifications possessed by the Lord's devotees. Krishna loves defeat. Krishna loves being defeated by his devotee. Srila Prabhupada gave a lecture, first canto, chapter 8, text 18 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kunti Maharani's Stuti. This was April 1973, I believe in America. So Prabhupada quotes in that lecture, first canto 8, chapter, text 18. 1973, April 1973, maybe 10th April 1973, somewhere in America, I believe. What Prabhupada in that lecture, he says what? That the whole world likes to adore God. Those who are theists and they like to glorify God, see God in high light, supreme light, awe and reverence all together. But Krishna, he likes to be treated as insignificant. For theists, general masses, theists, general spiritual, religious people, spiritual practitioners, God is significant. God is completely valuable. But Krishna in Vrindavan, Krishna in Vraj, he likes to be insignificant. He loves when he's treated insignificantly. When he's ruled over, he loves it. Oh, wow, someone ruling over me. Krishna loves that. And this is Madhurya will overcome, should overcome Aishwarya. Madhurya means sweetness. Aishwarya means opulence. Opulence. Now, in society, see again in society, in our settings, how much do we use this word opulence? No. What do we say normally for opulence? Could it be posh?
Luxurious. Luxurious.
Luxurious or posh? Something like that. Stylish, posh, or something. So sweetness should always overrule opulence. In this is the mood of Braj Bhakti, in Braj Bhakti. In Dwarka Bhakti, opulence is overpowering sweetness. There is less sweetness there. It is not there, but very less. Opulence is overpowering. So the we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, na? In Mahaprabhu's parampara say. So, and ours is Braj Bhakti, the mood of Braj Bhakti. So, in that same 118, in that class the Prabhupada gave in April 1973, he says further what? That Krishna ate earth. Krishna ate earth, and his friends, including his brother Balram, complained to Mother Yashoda that Maya, Krishna has eaten earth, check him out. So Mother Yashoda tells Krishna, Kana, your brother and friends complain that you have eaten earth. Open your mouth. Huh? So Krishna opens his mouth and shows the mother what? All the earth, all the universes and everything, and also within that, Mother Yashoda is seeing herself in Krishna's mouth. Krishna shows all the universes. Within the universe, what is Krishna showing? Mother Yashoda. So, Krishna is telling Mother Yashoda, look, Mother, I have eaten not only just earth, I have eaten all the universes, including you. I have swallowed you also. Uh, so that is, Krishna is a bit cheeky, sir. He's a bit cheeky. And Mother Yashoda, what is her reaction to this? That Mother Yashoda seeing this tells Krishna, oh, close your mouth now. Oh, I'm getting a bit some illusion, or maybe I'm tired, I need a rest. I've been working day long, hard and all. And close your mouth. And from now on, no eating dirt. Huh? Okay? Go. Otherwise, if you eat dirt, I won't let you play. So that is Yashoda chastising whom? God. God is showing, Krishna is showing na, that I am God. Look at me. All the universes are in me. Everything coming out of me. Hmm? Krishna is showing his a glimpse of his power. Say, not all power. Krishna cannot express all his power as well. Huh? Why? Because he does not even know how much power he has. There's no limit. Now he expresses say all his power, it expands further. He expresses more, it expands further. So some things even Krishna is limited, deficient. So nonetheless, Krishna showed to Mother Yashoda a glimpse of his power. And what does Yashoda say? Oh, stop it. Close your mouth, clean your clothes, clean your dress, and go quietly and play. Play nicely, no fighting and no eating dirt. If you eat dirt, I won't give you food from next time. Like this. So when there is opulence, this is the sweetness. That opulence gets covered. This thing, and this is Shrimad Bhagavatam helping us go in that line. See, in societal sense, everyone likes a bit of a banter. I don't know what would be a better English word for it, but in friendly banter, in mother-son relationship, daughter-father relationship, husband-wife, friend relationship, joke, some banter, some this thing. But most of our societal banters in devotee community is still good, still good. Devotees don't swear, don't use abusive, offensive language like that. Hmm? Although there is of course scope for improving, speaking more gently and all, but banter do happen. But in societal sense, that banter, even if it's like banter, it's very low level. And swearing and a perverted thought is involved, or some agenda, some insult oriented is involved. But this banter which Krishna receives or does in Vrindavan, no one calls Krishna in Vrindavan. No one calls him by his name. No one. Krishna is his name. No one calls him. Parents call him Kanhaiya, Kana, something. His friends call him Kalya, Kalura, something. So, teasingly, all this some sort of ill names, but not like societal moods, complete different mood. So again, point being, when there is this Aishwarya, na, the real sweetness, then the opulence will get covered over. So ours, this Shrimad Bhagavatam, this culture of love, what does it teach? See, the whole world, again, those who are religious, they praise God, praise the Lord, praise God, na? They glorify God and all. And they accept God as the Father, God is our Father, God is our provider and all. But practicing Krishna consciousness, we don't as such take God as our father or Krishna as our father. Rather, what we want to make Krishna as our child. This is should be the devotee mode. No, no, Krishna, not father. Philosophically makes sense. Pitamasya jagato mata data pitamaha. Krishna says like Bhagavad Gita 9:17 and all. He says this. Aham sarva bija pradapita. Krishna says, no? In Bhagavad Gita itself, 14.4, that Aham Sarva Bijat Pradapita. I am the seed giving father of the entire universe, of all matter and living entities and all. Philosophically, okay, but when it comes to culture, is what putting that philosophy into practice. In practice, we want to be in a loving relationship with Krishna. Na? So we don't take Krishna as our father. No, better, Prabhupada says, better take Krishna as your son. Then you can serve him more. See now, in practical sense, when we take, even in societal sense, in mundane sense, our father, we ask our father, no, father, give me money, father, buy me this, I want to go here, take me here, this, that. So father is doing the service for us. How much we get to serve father? But if we take Krishna as the child, then we can do so much of service for Krishna. Na? We can make him eat, we can make him bathe, we can get him dressed, so much so every all of such things. Na? So this is our mood. uh, This is our mood. And Krishna wants to be treated as person, not God. He likes when we treat him as a person, as a boy. And that, so in for that, that's transcendental emotion, that transcendental sentiment, that mood has to be developed, which will come about in good devotee association. So here, see, this is what Narad Muni is saying. What? Mm, Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is unconquerable, Dhruva Maharaj defeated him. So this was the thing. Krishna likes defeated. He likes defeated by Brajvasis. He likes when Brajvasis chastise him, when they call him, say, in names. He likes when his mother shuts him like this. So Krishna, Dhruva Maharaj defeated him with the specific qualifications possessed by the Lord's devotees. So let us read. 43. Dhruva Maharaj attained an exalted position at the age of only 5 or 6 years after undergoing austerity for 6 months. Alas, Mahaprabhu loves austerity or renunciation in his sadhaka, in his devotees. Mahaprabhu loves when his devotees are free from sense gratification. Mahaprabhu loves when his devotees don't go to McDonald's. Mahaprabhu loves when his devotees don't go to cinema. Mahaprabhu doesn't like his devotees into sense enjoyment. Mahaprabhu likes when his devotees are studying Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Chaitanya, living a simple life. When we live simply, simplicity attracts. Simplicity tremendously attracts. Purity tremendously attracts. Purity tremendously attracts. Truthfulness tremendously attracts. Gentleness attracts. Kindness attracts. These Mahaprabhu likes. So when we live like that, when we preach ourselves to become simple, when we preach ourselves to become truthful, when we preach ourselves to become loyal, when we preach ourselves like this, then Mahaprabhu can use us as an instrument. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, the thing Arjuna took on what? Nimitta matram bhava savyasacham. Beautiful message Krishna tells to Arjuna in 11:33 of Bhagavad Gita. Uh, that nimitta matram bhava savyasacham. Tasmat tvam utishta yuddha labasva. Jitva shatrum bhungshya rajyam samridam. Mai eva ete nihitam purva eva. What? Nimitra matram bhava savyasacham. Nimitta means instrument. Bhava means to become. So Savyasachin, another name for Arjuna. Hey Savyasachin, hey Arjuna, you just become an instrument in my hands. The joy of becoming an instrument in the will of the Lord. Tasmat tvam uttishta. Therefore, Arjuna, get up, rise. See in this shloka, Tasmat tvam uttishta, yuddha labasva. Jitva shatrum bhungshya rajyam samridam. Get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Enjoy the kingdom. Mai eva ete nihitam purvam eva. By my arrangement, they've already been killed by my arrangement. So likewise, our ignorance, everything now already taken care of. Already. If we just become an instrument in the will of the Lord. In a small example, a government sends one of its civil servant for spying or whatever reason say to another country, and government says what, you just represent us. You just represent us. And we have done all the arrangements, already done, Baba. This is your passport, this is your visa, this is your ticket. You go to the airport, already arrangement done. Someone will seeing your passport, visa, call out your name, you tell them, they will take you to the security, everything done. They will give you the seat in the plane. You land there, wherever, and you can go, let's say, just a bit, some American civil servant. You take this passport, you take this visa, and land in Moscow. There will be someone receiving you nicely in Moscow. You can enter in Moscow. All the arrangement, your hotel stay, car, driving license, everything is made up. We seen a movies show like this, na? That everything is made up and all. You just become an instrument. You just be the representative. Everything. And in case you get caught, we will free you out. You just become. And that is what Krishna is wanting us to become an instrument. But since eternity, again, since eternity, we are carrying a doer mentality. But for eternity, we need not carry a doer mentality. By good association, we can come out of doer mentality to an instrument mentality. So this nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Arjuna took this message at heart. Such a free, na? So much relaxation. When you have just to be the face. Krishna wanted a body. Krishna wanted a body, someone with two hands, two legs, a face, who can pull an arrow and release the arrow. Krishna never wanted someone with two hands, two legs, a face, who can aim, pull, and release with accuracy. Aim whatever you are aiming, Arjuna, whatever you are aiming. But just show to the world that you are actually aiming. Just pretend, show it that you are aiming. Even if you are aiming east, I will change the wind direction and your arrow will go west because I want it to go west because your enemy is in the west and it will kill the enemy in the west. Even if you aim towards wrongly. But if you pull and just release, becoming an instrument in my hands. And even if you were wanting east, I will send you west. This is Dhruva Maharaj. Did anything separate happen for Dhruva? What Dhruva wanted? a kingdom much bigger than Lord Brahma. Okay, but point being, he allowed himself to go in that meditation. He allowed himself to attract the blessings of Narad Muni. He allowed himself to do that austerity, 5-year-old boy in Madhuvan, increasing austerity. He allowed. And what was he aiming for? Material. But because he allowed himself to be used by the will of Krishna, Krishna gave him complete spiritual. We do not even know what to ask from Krishna. We don't know. And practicing sadhakasana, we shouldn't really be asking. Krishna already knows the best for us. Already knows. What we should be asking is for better and better association. Let me, the day I learned how to take devotees, Dhruva Maharaj learned now in his matured years. He learned how to live in Badrikashram amongst other sages, how to take association. He was impeccable philosophy, culture, and etiquette. He didn't go to the hours. Now we get confused. If we get any limelight, what do it may come now? If we get any limelight, oh look, I've proven to you, we stay in the same ashram and I've proven to you I'm better than you. Right? Such thoughts may come inside. Such thoughts may come inside. If we get any center stage, any limelight. And Dhruva is getting such a center stage. But what is he doing? He's going there, paying his obeisance. This is culture, this is etiquette, this is humility. Asking for his mom. So, Dhruva defeated the law. Krishna consciousness is to defeat Krishna. When can we defeat Krishna? We should be ready for that change, no? Krishna will be so pleased when he gets defeated by us. Oh wow, you defeated Maya. But only by the mercy of Krishna. Nayam Atma pravachanena labhyona medasana bahuna suitena. No learned, scholarly, knowing shlokas, this, that. That doesn't mean we do not study. That doesn't mean we do not learn. That doesn't mean we do not chant. We do everything, but only with one intent, to be used by Krishna for the pleasure of Guru and Gaura and to express our gratitude, to express our emotion, our sentiment, that what we have come across. This joy of Krishna consciousness never ever experienced in life. No comparison. So Dhruva Maharaj attained an exalted position at the age of only 5 or 6 years, after undergoing austerity for 6 months. Alas, a great Kshatriya cannot achieve such a position even after going austerities for many, many years. The great sage Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, whatever you have asked from me about the great reputation of character of Dhruva Maharaj, I have explained to you in all detail. Great saintly persons and devotees very much like to hear about Dhruva Maharaj. By hearing the narration of Dhruva Maharaj, one can fulfill desires for wealth, reputation, and increased duration of life. It is so auspicious that one can even go to a heavenly planet or attain Dhruva Loka, which was achieved by Dhruva Maharaj, just by hearing about him. The demigods also become pleased because this narration is so glorious and it is so powerful that it can counteract all the results of one's sinful actions. Anyone who hears the narration of Dhruva Maharaj and who repeatedly tries with faith and devotion to understand his pure character, hmm, we are trying to understand the character of Dhruva Maharaj, attains the pure devotional platform and executes pure devotional service. By such activities, one can diminish the threefold miserable conditions of material life. Anyone who hears this narration of Dhruva Maharaj acquires exalted qualities like him. For anyone who desires greatness, prowess, or influence, here is the process by which to acquire them. And for thoughtful men who want adoration, here is the proper means. On this hearing, na, see anyone who hears. By this hearing, what is meant? Many times we, in our general daily talks, talking, speaking with someone, we are trying to hear, but many times we say, no, oh, sorry, what did you say? What did you say? And many times we are so lost, we need to note it down. And in society, when we are hearing or listening or in a conversations with someone, generally, not always, but many times, we are looking for an opportunity. When does the other person stop and when do I speak? Generally. And also, as the person has just begun to speak, I have framed the reply in my mind. What do I want to reply to? And I just wait for an opportunity. When does it stop? And I reply to him. And sometimes in our parliaments, they do not even wait for that. They this occur in culture, nothing. It is such a poor culture to talk at the same time. Such a poor culture. Such a impatient, low, poor culture. It is okay, we may cut the other person, we may shorten, we may anything. But sometimes happens now, even in class or kirtan or this, even in temple room settings, now, we are very low in culture, in Krishna conscious culture. We are very low in Krishna conscious etiquette. In temple classroom setting, class is happening and we are talking at the same time. Class is happening and we are trying to get attention for ourselves many times by maybe making a joke, by doing this, that, acting like this, that, and all. So we are a bit poor in Krishna conscious culture and etiquette. So the hearing mentioned here is a different hearing. Hearing means intense hearing with faith. Hearing means hearing with the heart. Ear is used as an instrument. Ear is just used as an instrument, but hearing with the heart, meaning hearing with attachment, hearing with faith, hearing with desire, hearing with intent, hearing with meaning. Okay, any thoughts, questions, comments, or clarification? Yes, please.
Maybe should be good. I was thinking earlier towards the start of the class, you were talking like, we might be chanting japa and we're not even listening to ourselves, we're not even hearing ourselves. So I'm curious, how much of this is the effort of the sadhaka and how much of this is the blessings of the guru that we're able to actually hear?
Well, this thing, we must act in a way that everything depends on us. If I do not act, it's not going to happen. Whether we live in home, temple, office, wherever, our engagement should be Krishna conscious. As much as possible, we should live an unentangled life. We should cultivate our life in a way that it is unentangling. Be our university, study life, office life, working life, family life, and all, unentangled life. So in our societal like office work and all, and those who are initiated for them office work need not be nothing for the sadhaka. What is material life? No, especially initiated. No, we should not be thinking that if we think that I'm living a material life, an initiated devotee say, it is not a good expression of gratitude towards one's spiritual master. Imagine spiritual master is here and I tell spiritual master or Gurudev, this is my material life. I have to go to school, college, uni, work, family, material life. Will it please the master? Will it please? No. Job can also be spiritual life. No, it has to become, it has to be spiritual life. So we should act in a way that everything depends on us. Everything. If I don't do it, if I don't act, it is not going to happen. It is going to be terrible. it is going to be havoc or very terrible set. And we should pray in a way that everything depends on Krishna. Everything rests on Krishna. Everything is depending on Krishna. Everything is happening because of Krishna. So when we japana, we should act, we should chant with our best capacity, best efforts. We should chant. Because if I don't chant, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. And also we shouldn't chant with this thinking like this, oh yes, okay, I chant nicely, and then because I'm chanting nicely, I'm attracting the mercy. Yes, surely now I must be getting the blessing. Okay, I did good japa. Where's the blessing? Come on, I did good japa today. Or 3 days continuously I've done good japa. So I must really be getting blessed now. So I can expect. This thought should never come. Oh, last 1 month I've been a good devotee. Last 1 month I did not buy any online things. I checked my phone. I spent less time on my phone. The stats show, phone there's some apps and all they show the stats. Screen time. I spent less time on YouTube. And last month I literally spent 1 hour less time on YouTube. I spent full 35 minutes less on Facebook. I don't know much just YouTube and Facebook, there are many other things. So if I just tell myself, look, last month, I took prasadam on time, I woke up on time and everything, I must really be attracting mercy, or some mercy will come in this. That should not be, that's not unconditional. So our chanting should be, yes, everything depends on us. If I don't become Krishna conscious, I don't become Krishna conscious. We should never think that, okay, spiritual master or someone will come and do japa for me or that ways. No? See, the difference in japa and this thing. Before initiation also we do japa, we chant, and we try to do attentive chanting. After initiation also we do chanting and we should be trying to do attentive chanting. Before initiation we do offensive chanting. After initiation as well, because of deep-rooted conditioning, we do offensive chanting. But how this offensive chanting will be nullified? Only by the blessings of spiritual master. So one should genuinely take the shelter of the divine lotus feet of a transcendental personality. Then, with fervent chanting and all, naturally, we should not think, I'm attracting mercy, I'm attracting blessing, I deserve God blessing, I deserve mercy, I'm heading good. A sadhakana in our practice of Krishna consciousness, little bit of calculation here there is fine, just to check my sadhana balance, reading, hearing, and things, my attitude, my consciousness, my humility parameter or benchmark or humility quotient. But I shouldn't be focusing anymore. Look now, Dhruva Maharaj, 6 months he did austerity. First month, second month. If he was simultaneously doing a performance report, a sadhana card of himself, huh? That was 6 months now, Ekadashi, I'm doing this much and all. So, yeah, I'm doing better. No. That is a diversion in consciousness. That is a diversion. Then we get a further sidetrack. Yes, I'm doing good. I'm better. I'm really doing good. So I'm a bit relaxed now. Huh? That's like slightly, we may go into a mode of spiritual illusion, which is way more dangerous than material illusion. Can be way more dangerous. So we shouldn't be calculative of our sadhana. Little bit we should be watchful. We should be aware, we should be watchful, but not calculative. Once calculative, then we will completely get absorbed in this. We don't want to be a accountant sadhaka. Keeping record, accountant sadhaka. Then that record keeping will become our obsession. Oh, I didn't do the record, I didn't. Yes, we should be working on developing the how. Does this somewhat answer your question? So our chanting should be like this, like we should act in a way everything depends on me, and we should pray in a way everything depends on Krishna. Arjuna acted in a way, na? Dhruva Maharaj acted in a way. And praying also then Krishna said. So we should free ourselves from this. When will I attain or not? Just when. And that desire, okay. We desire whenever Krishna desires. Krishna attains his dome. Krishna accepts then whom he wants. That is him. That's his nature. The sooner we adjust to Krishna's nature, the more relaxed we will be. The sooner we, because when we adjust to Krishna's nature, then we give him a free flow. Okay, you be you. Still I chase after you. Wow. Krishna says, wow, you are letting me be the supreme controller and still wanting to come for me. So I can crush you a bit more. And you are still letting me be the supreme controller. You are not praying to me that why are you crushing me a bit more? Wow, you seem to be a bit different. In order to be attaining Krishna, we have to be a bit different. We have to be in the Krishna conscious club. Does that somewhat answer your question? Okay, maybe next week, won't be tomorrow, next week we can check from text 48 onwards. We are towards the very close of study of Maharaj. So next week onwards, we'll check from text 48 onwards. Thank you very much for your patient listening, kind attention, and encouragement. Pray by your blessings one day I become the first listener of the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. I embody the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam. By your kind blessings and encouragement, one day I enter into practicing your loving devotional service with loving consciousness, with loving sentiment. रचना श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गौर प्रेमानंद
Jai.